Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
7:37 here on O'Connor and Company. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You have questions about the announcement that the Kennedy Center will be renamed Trump Kennedy Center. Does that take a act of Congress? Did the board even vote on it? You heard Congress people saying, I'm on the board and I didn't get to vote. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? And what about the fact that this is supposed to be a memorial for the fallen president, John F. Kennedy? How can they do this? Well, we'll get all those questions answered in just 30 minutes by Roma Daravi. She's the spokesperson for the Trump Kennedy Center. Then at 8:35, Seamus Bruner talk about how Congress is debating a new bill about stock trading among members. That's coming up. It's Larry O'Connor with Patrice Onwuka. This song is my jam. I love this one.
That's a Donny Hathaway version? Yes.
It's, there's a great various covers of this song, but it is my favorite modern-day Christmas song. If I'm going to go non-traditional, this will be the one. All right, joining us right now, he is now officially running for Frederick County Council on a platform that involves a lot of burning issues for the members, residents of Frederick County, not least of which the data center issue that we've been speaking about this morning. He is Dan Iampieri, and he joins us now. Sir, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Larry.
So let's talk about the data centers. You saw quite a turnout at the meeting this week of residents who were very concerned about it. Where do you stand on this issue?
Well, look, just 3 days ago, the state Senate overturned the governor's veto of a bill that would provide for a comprehensive study of economic centers. We need to find out what their benefit is and what the cost is to the community. And right now, at this point in time in Frederick County, all we know is the analysis that's been provided by the data center industry, and those are the ones that stand to benefit the most. So we need to know, we need an independent study, and it was overturned. The governor's veto was overturned by the state Senate unanimously, 44-0. So we got to get that study done. People in Frederick County want to know what's in that study, and they don't want to depend on the information that's being provided by the industry.
You know, I mean, this data center issue is obviously a very hot button issue, and your campaign platform has mentioned slowing the reckless data center expansion. Do you see, if you're elected, you may have constituents who actually are supportive of the data centers. What would you say? How do you thread the needle in representing interest on both sides of the aisle?
Sure. Well, you go to the meeting and it's over. You go to these meetings and it's overwhelming, Patrice, the opposition. So the constituents are against this overwhelmingly. There may be trade groups or organizations that are for it that stand to benefit from it, but the vast majority of people in Adamstown are opposed to it. I would say the vast majority of people in the county are opposed to it. But what you have is speculative development. And you have really different groups between officials, different organizations that are lobbying for the industry and the industry, the corporations themselves that are all working together to really ram this down everybody right before Christmas. They want to get this through. They want to put it behind them. And the people are against it, and the people are watching. And I'll tell you, they really want to know what happens Wednesday, December 23rd or Tuesday, December 23rd. They want to know what this county council is going to decide, because the state Senate says we're going to do this. We're going to do this study. It's a multi-million-dollar study. They wanted to get it done a year ago. It did not pass, and now because of the special session, it's now passed.
Right.
And let's just slow down. Let's see what that says. What's the rush?
Exactly. Why not do the study? And we've seen these debates in Loudoun County and in Prince William County, and it gets vociferous, but somehow they always manage to flip one or two members of the county council to vote their way, and before you know it, those data centers are being built. Let's hear a little bit about you, Dan. You're the owner of Remax Aspire. You've spent over 2 decades in Frederick County. You probably know more about land usage and home ownership and property rights than anybody out there, because that's literally been your business. And it seems like there's a lot of issues facing the residents of Frederick County, but a huge number of them all come down to that. Home ownership, land usage, rural spaces. Frederick County is on the brink of being irrevocably altered and changed, and many people believe for the worse.
Well, look, the average price of a home in Frederick County last month was $550,000. When
Average.
my family moved,
Wow.
average.
Wow.
When we moved here, and you'll hear numbers floating around like 400 or 5. That's not the case. Now there have been some months this year, not many, but there's been some where prices even fell year over year because, quite honestly, there's been softened demand in the market. There's more inventory in the market. It's funny getting out there and listening to public officials and getting into this thing called politics. I hear a lot of them say, "Oh, we got to solve the inventory crisis." The inventory crisis, that's old news. That was a few years ago. We've got about 50% more inventory across the board in most markets. Rates have been stubbornly high. 10,000 federal government workers in Frederick County. Number one employer in the county is Fort Detrick. We've been affected this year. If you're Montgomery County, PG County, you've been affected. Northern Virginia. But it's the number one issue, according to American Strategies, that does a survey for Maryland voters. And the number one issue is that housing costs are too high. Okay, so how do you bring it down? And what is the proper role of the local government to bring it down? So that's what we really got to look at and have a discussion about, because the people that are getting boxed out of the market right now are between the ages of 18 and 34 and seniors. There's no moderately priced housing for seniors. And you talk about $1 million for a 55 plus, that's not going to work for everybody.
Yeah. It's untenable, and of course, as those prices go up and more people move in from Montgomery County, they're bringing Montgomery County values and the approach to life, and a lot of longtime Frederick County residents are not thrilled about that either. Well, this is the beginning of a year-long relationship, I think, Dan, as you run for office. Thanks for throwing your hat in the ring and being part of it, and Lord knows we will have more conversations between now and the election.
Thanks, guys.
It's danforfrederick.com. That's where you get the information about Dan. danforfrederick.com. It's 7:40.